video is a small content about the courageous women during the period of our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, presented by our very own alimas.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم عليه. Praise be to Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, and blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers and his companions. And go present a speech about the one who preserved the Quran and also the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hafsa bint Umar radiallahu anha. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Hafsa radiallahu anha was one of the few lucky individuals to have grown up in a purely religious environment. Hafsa radiallahu anha was a daughter and eldest child of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu and Zainab bint Mad'um. She was born when Quraysh were building the house of Kaaba. Her father, Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, was a staunch believer, and her aunts and uncles too believed in the message of Islam. And as a result, she grew up with a strong religious belief. Prior to her marriage with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hafsa radiallahu anha was married to Khunais bin Hazaf as-Sahmi, who was one of the earlier Muslims. Given the circumstances at the time, suffering at the hand of unbelievers for the sake of Islam was inevitable. Hence, Hafsa radiallahu anha and Khunais radiallahu anhu both endured many trials and tribulations. They migrated from the sake of Islam multiple times. Khunais radiallahu anhu was one of the men who fought in the Battle of Badr. He endured many injuries and later succumbed to wounds and lost his life, leaving Hafsa radiallahu anha as a widowed woman. She was only 18 of age when she lost her husband, and naturally Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu anhu feared for his safety and wanted to find her a suitable husband soon. He asked Usman bin Affan radiallahu anhu to marry her, but he had recently lost his wife and told Umar radiallahu anhu that he had no intention of marrying anyone. Then he went to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, who to refuse him. Alice, he went to the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his plea, who reassured him that Hafsa radiallahu anha would find a better suitor than Usman radiallahu anhu. In the time, Umar radiallahu anhu found that the Holy Prophet intended to marry his lovely daughter, and so in Hijri 3rd, Muhammad Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Hafsa bint Umar got married. At the time of her marriage to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Aisha radiallahu anha and SAWDAH radiallahu anha were already the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Aisha radiallahu anha and Hafsa radiallahu anha were closer in age, and Aisha radiallahu anha was initially not very fond of Hafsa radiallahu anha, thinking that she might replace her in the life of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu was aware that a situation such as this might arise, so he advised Hafsa radiallahu anhu to never think of herself in competition with Aisha radiallahu anha. Eventually, both Aisha and Hafsa radiallahu anha ended up by becoming very close to each other, almost like sisters. They spent a lot of time together. Aisha and Hafsa radiallahu once led the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to believe that he should not have honey as it makes his mouth smell bad. Upon hearing it from his wife, the Prophet took an oath to never taste the honey again. In regarding to this incident, Allah revealed a few verses from Surah Tahrim, and it says, O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful for you, seeking the approval of your wives? And Allah is forgiving and merciful. Both of them made a mistake, and the Lord Almighty was sure to remind that it's only Him who is all-knowing, and only He is the one to decide what is allowed and what is prohibited for man. Hafsa radiallahu anha was a devoted Muslim and a pious woman. She spent her days reciting the Quran and also kept fast during the days and spent her nights in remembrance of Allah. Although she was a pious woman and a staunch believer, she had a strong personality and also rather inquisitive. In one such event where she expressed her strong personality, it is reported that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam divorced Hafsa radiallahu anha. but had to take the divorce back because Allah sent the angel Jibril alayhi salam, who reminded the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam of her devotion to Allah, of her pious nature. In addition to this, the divorce was also taken back as a favor to Umar radiallahu anhu, who had been a faithful servant of Islam. Hafsa radiallahu anha lived with the Holy Prophet for 8 years in Medina. At the time of her death, Hafsa radiallahu anha was around 60 years of old. She has spent her life as a pious, noble, charitable woman, and we too should aspire to follow in her footsteps. May Allah be pleased with Hafsa radiallahu anha and reward her with the best of rewards. Ameen. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.